Hey y'all, welcome back. So with everything going on with the NFR, there's always a lot of talk about the markouts, what they call in the markout rule, what is a markout, what isn't a markout, and it all comes down to what the person sees. Now with the review, it makes it a little bit more important to know the definition of it, because from what it sounds like, the reviews there has to be enough evidence there to overturn it. And with Ryder's ride last night, there's a lot of people going back and forth, so I just figured I'd do a quick little video that talked about what they look for in a markout and how the rule reads. So, all right, so in professional rodeo, the spur out rule or the markout rule is written down as when the horse's front feet come in contact with the ground, the first jump out from leaving the chutes, your rowel, which is this part of your spur, has to be in contact with the in front of the break of the shoulder of the horse. And the break of the shoulder, to put it simple, is basically shoulder will come down right here. It's where the horse's shoulder rolls over, and the break is past where it starts to come down. It's not right at it, it's not behind it, it's when the shoulder and it's starting to come down into the horse here. Usually it's like a little bump, but you have to be up in here. And what they'll be looking for when they come out is when you go out to mark out a horse, you got to turn your toes out like that and get in there. And what that does is that puts that rowel in contact with the horse's neck. Now, where it comes into some issues and stuff is when guys will go to mark out, they'll be sitting here and they'll go to set their feet and they'll set their foot like this. Well, if you look at that, it ain't touching it. If you go in front of them right here, you can't see, but it's down here, it's not touching it. It needs to be touching the horse, just like that. So, and it's really hard to see the rowel. So sometimes judges, they'll watch the toe. And what you'll get, and you guys come up and hit them like this, and they think they got them, but look at that. It's still not touching. I can fit my hand underneath there. You got to turn your toes out. Sometimes a horse will come up and they'll hit, and you got your foot like that, and they'll jerk you forward and they'll pull your feet back. And when you do, your toe comes in. Even if you're in contact in there like that, as it comes around, it'll drag your toe around and your foot will be up like that. And then what it does is it pulls your spur off here, and it looks like you have it, but you're not. So some judges look closer to your toes when it's close and what you're watching. So again, that's just kind of a way to show a visualization of what they're looking for. Now with Ryder last night, it's hard to tell because of the footage, but it looks like he had him sit there, and then that horse kind of jerked him around the edge, and when it did, it rolled his toe up, and instead of being in contact, it rolled it down and it pulled it off. And I mean, it's splitting hairs sometimes, but that's what it is. You're at the NFR, and that's what I guess the judge saw, and if that's what he saw, and when they looked at the review, there wasn't any concrete evidence that he was turned out like that. Now, if his toes were out like that when it came down there and he was back here and it was close, he might have gotten it. And it all comes down to the judge and who's looking at it. And sometimes, man, there's been times I've been on a horse and I knew I had that mark out, but they saw my toe come up and that rowel could have bopped off there and I wasn't in contact, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. That's the nature of the markout rule and what makes it so tough. So I hope this helps some guys, and if you guys have any more questions on it, just shoot me a message and ask, comment. Always glad to have conversations with guys on this, so thanks for watching.